All right, so today let's do an oil change on the Onan QG 4000 generator. Onan recommends after between 20 and 30 hours of runtime, that initial runtime, to do the initial oil change. So I'm at 26 hours, so we're going to do that initial oil change now. I've already got the oil drain plug. I've got it cracked loose, and just a word of advice: when you do that for the first time, I don't know who puts those on from the factory, but they are a pain to get loose. I mean, it took everything I had to get that thing to break loose. So as you'll see, it's actually recessed up inside of a like a compartment almost, so it's a little tough to get to, but it just takes a lot to get that to break loose. So let's jump underneath. We'll open this up, and we'll get the oil draining. First, what I'm going to do though, before I do any of that, I'm going to actually fire the generator up, let it run for about 5 minutes, get that oil nice and warm, and it should be able to drain pretty easily after that. After we do that, then we'll jump down and get the oil draining, and we'll get it changed out. All right, so now that it's generator's run for 5 minutes, oil's warmed up and everything, let's talk about tools and what you're going to need to change the oil. So first thing you're going to need is a Torx bit, the T30, and I'll show you. That's where there's a little flap, and you're just going to loosen that, flip that over, and that hides the drain plug for the oil. Then you're going to need a 12mm socket, and that is what's going to take the drain plug out. So I am going to be using SAE 30 oil today. If you're going to be running it less at freezing or lower, I believe it's recommended a 15W40, but definitely check your owner's manual for that. So let's jump underneath, and let's pull those the cover off. I'll show you that. We'll pull a drain plug, we'll get the oil changed out real quick. Won't take longer than 5-10 minutes tops. All right, so hopefully you can see up inside here. I've already taken the screw out, but this green plate right here, let's see, that green plate right there, there's 2 screws on each side. That's what you're going to use the T30 bit for. You're going to take one of those out, loosen the other, and you're just simply going to move that over to the side. Then that's where your drain plug is going to be, up inside there, and that's going to be your the 12mm socket. So let's get everything kind of in position here. This is the first time I've changed the oil on this particular generator and this particular rig. I'm a little worried about creating a huge mess, but let's see what I can figure out here. All right, you're gonna get a little bit of oil on you, is what I was afraid of. I definitely think Grand Design could have made a better design for that, but you kind of got to come at it from the back side. So maybe next time it'll be a little bit easier, but we'll see. Now there should be a gasket on this screw, the bolt. I'm not seeing it, so I'm guessing it's either in my oil or still stuck up there. And it looks like it's still stuck up there. All right, so actually the gasket was in the oil. I found it there. So you just want to make sure you put that back on there. Actually, it's a more or less just a washer, to be honest with you. I don't know if there's a gasket. Let me look in that oil a little bit more here. Looks like there's still a gasket up around there, so I think we're probably good. But yeah, you just want to make sure, hopefully you can see this, but that nut, your drain nut, and then that washer right there. All right, now the oil's pretty much completely drained out, we will put the nut back in there. Look, so it didn't make as big a mess as I thought it would, so that's a plus. It's just a pain to get to. So all right, I got my drain plug hand tight, and I'll just tighten it down now. All right, we'll leave the we're gonna leave the cover off. Leave the cover off for now. I'll fill back with oil, we'll run it, we'll check for leaks, and then we'll put that back on. There's a screw for it. That's a T30 bit that you're gonna use. So let's jump back up top. Let's put some oil in it, and we'll get it running. All right, so this generator calls for 1.6 quarts of oil. So I've heard there's been some issues with overfilling on these and the dipstick. So make sure you don't overfill it. It'll run, and then from what I hear, it'll run and then it'll shut down on you after a couple hours. But I have not had that experience. So I'm gonna put about 1.5 quarts of oil in here, and we'll get it in, fire it up, let it run, and check for leaks, and that should be it. All right, let's jump underneath. Let's check for any leaks and put that plate back on, and should be good to go. All right, so we're dry, no leaks. So what I'm gonna do is, let's see if I can do this. So we're gonna move that back over there, and all right, so that's the plate that you're gonna put back on. That just covers the drain plug. So like I said, take one of these out, loosen the other, and then just slide that thing over, and that'll give you access. So everything's wrapped up. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. That is the install of an oil change on the Onan 4000 in the Grand Design 21G. All right, so that's it. That's the initial break-in oil change on the Onan QG 4000 generator that's in my 2022 Grand Design 21G. We'll go ahead and get that cover put back on, and it will be good to go. All right, everyone, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.